Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a monostrap dress with front slit. This dress is going to be a very easy one to make because we are not going to be adding that. We are not going to be adding zipper to this dress because I'm using a stretchy fabric for this tutorial. So as you can see, I have marked out the guideline on the shoulder. So next, I'm going to mark the full length of this dress. The full length I'm working with for this dress is 40 inches, so I'm just going to mark that. After that, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement. On my shoulder, the shoulder I'm working with is 14 inches, divided by 2 is 7, so I'm going to mark 7 inches on the shoulder like this. So on that point where I marked 7 inches, I'm going to mark 8 inches. I'm going to mark 8 inches, which is the armhole round of this dress. So after that, on that same point where I mark the armhole round, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches, and I'm going to connect the 2 points I just made with a straight ruler, just like this. Next, I'm going to mark the waistline of this dress. From the shoulder to the waist is 18 inches, so I'm going to mark that. And after that, I'm going to connect the points with my straight ruler, just like this. So next, I'm going to mark the circumference measurement of this dress. The bust I'm working with is 34 inches. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5 inches. So I'm going to mark 8.5 on the bust line. And then I'm going to add 1 inch for seam allowance. After that, I'm going to mark a quarter of my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 27 inches. Divided by 4 is 6.75, so I'm going to mark that. And I would also add 1 inch for seam allowance. Okay, so next I'm going to get my hip line. From the waistline to the hip line is 8 inches, so I'm going to mark 8 inches downwards from the waistline. So on this hip line, I'm going to mark my hip measurement. So the hip measurement I'm working with is 35 inches. 35 divided by 4 is 8.75, so I'm going to mark that. And I'm also going to add my 1 inch seam allowance. Now that we have all the points, I'm going to connect the points that I marked. So I'm going to connect the bust line to the waistline, and from the waistline I'm going to connect straight to the hip line like this. So I'm just going to drag the hip measurement down to the full length of this dress. Now I'm going to drag the measurement down to the full length, just like this. And on the full length, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches inward. So this is to make the down part tinier than the hip. You know, the down part is normally smaller than the hip. So after marking the 1.5 inch, I'm just going to connect it straight to the hip line. This is to give the lower part a pencil curve. Okay. So after that, I'm going to just cover the armhole of the dress. As you can see, we didn't mark anything on the neck. We didn't mark any neck depth or neck width. This is because it's a monostrap dress, so I'm going to leave the neck the way it is. So next, I'm just going to cut out this front pattern. So this is what it looks like after cutting. So I'm going to align the front on the back so I can use this front to cut out the back. So what I did was to properly align it together and pin it. You need to pin your fabric so that it doesn't shift. Like I said, this is a stretchy material, so it can easily move if you don't pin it. So I pinned it all around, and I'm going to just cut out the back pattern of this dress. So after cutting, what I did was to remove just to pick one part, since the front and the back are exactly the same. So I picked the front part of this dress, and I'm going to show you how to mark the slit. So for the slit, you're going to decide the side you want the slit to be. If it's on your left lap or your right lap, just decide. Mine was on my left. So from the center of my dress, I marked 4 inches. Okay, so I'm just marking 4 inches, and I'm going to keep marking this 4 inches until I get to the place where I want this slit to end. Yes, so that's just what I'm doing. From the center, you mark 4 inches. So after that, you're going to decide how long you want your slit to be. Mine, I used about 15 inches, so I marked that. So after doing that, what you want to do is to slit this open. You're going to mark on the line you made. So I'm just cutting it open, and that is it. We have the front slit. It's very easy, very easy to do, very easy. So now we have the slit of the front ready. So after that, you want to put the front and the back panels together. You're going to make sure that the front and the back piece align properly, and you're going to also decide which side you want to cut out and which side of the sleeve you want to leave. So I'm marking 4 inches from the armhole of this side, and I'm going to connect it down to the armhole of the other side. It's very easy, just what I'm doing here. Just going to connect it. You can decide to go lower than this, but I wanted mine to be like this, so it's okay for me like this, but you can decide to go lower or higher than this. So once that is done, you're going to connect it with your marker and cut it out. And that is just it on how to make this and the shoulder. This is a one-sided off shoulder dress. So next, you are going to mark your measurements. If you are a beginner, this is very important. Insert your actual measurement. I'm just showing you this. So you insert your actual measurements, connect them together, and take it to the sewing machine to sew. And that's basically it. I finished up my neck with a sequence material, and this is just it. This is me wearing the dress, and it's very easy to make. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Till I see you in my next video. Bye. Love you.